Why is a carnivore doctor talking about the opioid crisis? Because I believe the solution starts with what you put on our plates. Here's the shocking truth. The United States consumes 80% of the world's opioids, yet we make up only 4% of the global population. I know this is hard to believe, but a simple Google search will provide the exact same answer. So how did we get here? And more importantly, how can we fix it? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why resolving the opioid crisis isn't just about prescribing fewer drugs. It's about restoring our health one bite at a time, and why the carnivore diet could help hold the key. Let's go back to the 1990s when the seeds of this crisis were planted. Pharmaceutical companies like Purdue Pharma aggressively marketed opioids like OxyContin as safe, effective, and unbelievably non-addictive. They cited a handful of studies, flawed studies I might add, claiming that addiction was rare. This coincided with the push to treat pain as the fifth vital sign. If you don't remember this, I'm sure my clinical colleagues do, when they encouraged doctors like myself to aggressively address pain, often using opioids. We were literally penalized if we didn't aggressively treat pain. So by the early 2000s, opioids were being prescribed for everything from post-surgical pain to backaches and even migraines. Here's a shocking fact. From 1999 to 2021, opioid prescriptions quadrupled, even though there wasn't an increase in the prevalence of pain among Americans. By 2019, nearly 10 million Americans were misusing opioids, and overdose deaths became the leading cause of death for adults over 50. And here's another jaw dropper. The pharmaceutical industry made billions off these drugs, even as evidence of addiction and abuse mounted. Now, let's clear up a common misconception. This crisis isn't the fault of patients. It's not about weak willpower or bad decisions. Most of the blame lies squarely on the shoulders of pharmaceutical companies and the players in the healthcare system that prioritize profit over people. Companies like Purdue Pharma knowingly downplayed the risk of addiction. They incentivized doctors to prescribe opioids, sometimes through bonuses and lavish perks that were legal back then. Meanwhile, insurance companies made it easier to get access to painkillers than safer, often more effective alternatives like physical therapy or counseling. So let me say this again. The American public isn't to blame. We've been misled by a system that profits from our pain. There is some hope on the horizon, however. Number one, tighter regulation. The CDC and FDA have implemented stricter guidelines on opioid prescribing, limiting doses to safer levels. Number two, Narcan availability. Now, Naloxone, also known as Narcan, is being made more widely available to reverse overdoses in emergencies. Number three, weaning protocols. For those on high dosages, medical professionals are developing safer strategies to taper off opioids. These are steps in the right direction, but they don't address the root causes of the problem. In answering the simple question, why are so many Americans in pain to begin with? The answer lies in something much deeper. A metabolic crisis that's fueling inflammation, obesity, and chronic pain. Let's talk science. Chronic pain is often driven by inflammation, a natural immune response that, when prolonged, damages tissues and nerves. Here's where it gets interesting. Poor metabolic health caused by diets high in sugar, refined carbs, and processed foods fuels inflammation. For example, a diet rich in sugar triggers spikes in insulin and increases levels of cytokines, which are pro-inflammatory molecules. Over time, this creates a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation linked to conditions like arthritis, fibromyalgia, and even nerve pain. But here's the good news. The carnivore diet directly addresses this by eliminating inflammatory plant compounds like lectins, oxalates, and phytates. It removes common triggers of inflammation. Carnivore is also incredibly nutrient dense, providing the body with essential building blocks like glycine for tissue repair and conjugated linoleic acid, a powerful anti-inflammatory. When combined with the anti-inflammatory effects of ketosis, where the body produces ketones like beta-hydroxybutyrate, this diet can help reduce chronic pain. Ketones inhibit NLRP3 inflammasomes, the same drivers of inflammation behind many pain conditions. I know that's a lot of biochemistry. I couldn't help myself. I majored in chemistry pre-med at Xavier University in Louisiana, so shout out to my Xavierites out there. But let me make it more practical. I've seen it firsthand. Patients who adopt the carnivore diet, or at least low carb or keto, not only lose weight but also experience significant reductions in joint pain, muscle aches, and nerve discomfort. For many, this translates to reduced reliance on painkillers and a path towards a pain-free, healthier life. And if you don't believe me, check the video comments to this video to hear others share their testimonials. This is about more than opioids. It's about the state of our nation's health. We're battling multiple pandemics at once: the opioid crisis, obesity, and metabolic disease. And they're all connected. To solve the opioid crisis, we need to create a healthier America. That means educating people about the power of a diet to heal chronic pain and reduce dependence on medications. It means breaking from the standard American diet and embracing real nutrient-dense foods like those in the carnivore diet. Imagine a future where fewer people need opioids because they heal from pain from the inside out. That's the revolution we need. So what can we do? Number one, we can advocate for safer opioid prescribing practices in our community. Number two, share this video to help spread awareness. Number three, take control of your health. Start small, cut back on sugar, experiment with low carb or keto diets, or explore carnivore. This isn't just about the opioid crisis, it's about reclaiming our health and our future. So if this message resonates with you, subscribe to my channel, share this video, and join me in this mission. Together, we can heal from this crisis, one meal at a time. I'll see you in the next video.